Hey, this is Jim from Sluffwork.com and the Sluffcast. And surprisingly enough, it's time for another episode of Jim Explains a Thing. This time, I've been asked to explain Marvel and give you a brief history as well as some basic storylines. That just sounds like a really great plan. Let's start by pointing out that the joke here is not that I'm making fun of something that you know and love. The joke is on me and how ignorant I am of this thing that so many people love and know so much about. So please laugh at me and do not hate me. Also, if you happen to notice any discrepancies in my explanation, and you're the first person to point it out in the comments, then you get 1,018 internet points. So stay sharp for that. Let's just jump right in, shall we? Marvel is a production company that is a part of Netflix. I'm just kidding. I know that it's a comic book company. But seriously, something's going on with Marvel and Netflix, right? They're like that couple that think they're keeping things under wraps, but really everybody in the office knows that something's happening there because of the way that Netflix sits on Marvel's desk when they're talking about reports. But everybody's like, come on, nobody finds data analytics that interesting, right? Anywho, Marvel was created in the early 1900s by a man named Stanley. I don't know his last name, but it was a very innovative company in that before Marvel came along, everything was in black and white in the whole world, and there were no special effects. So all the stories from that time were just very dull because it was all like Phil went into the store and he bought some milk from the storekeep, and then the next day he brought the glass bottle back so it could be used again. And it was just terrible. But see, Stanley started coloring everything. And then all of a sudden there's all this color everywhere. And he invented people who could fly and shoot spider webs and stuff. So he ushered in this whole new age of entertainment. And then Marvel went on to give us all kinds of these beautiful superheroes like Spider-Man and Superman and Iron Man, all the mans. And they came up with these inventive storylines, which I would like to get into now. Thor is one of the Marvel characters. We get to see him in his formative years in high school, where he speaks like a 17th century Englishman for some reason, and says things like, "Betty, surely thou shalt go to prom with me." And everybody else is like, dude, why are you talking like that? And then we flash forward to shop class, where they're supposed to be using all their scrap metal and wire to make jewelry for Mother's Day. And Thor says, "Sir, verily I have a problem with my jewelry." And then the teacher comes over and says, "Well, you're supposed to be using a ball-peen hammer, and you are using this giant square hammer that looks like something out of Minecraft." That's right. And Thor says, "But this is the mighty mule deer." And the teacher says, "I don't care if it's the mule deer or not, you're ruining your mother's jewelry." And then later Thor goes on to have huge arguments with his brother Loki because Loki carelessly left his mask lying around only for Jim Carrey to stumble upon it later and put it on and have all kinds of wonderful hijinks in the movie that gave us Cameron Diaz, so you can't fault me for bringing that up. Lately, Marvel has brought a lot of other superheroes to light that are much less known, at least by me. There's Jessica Jones, who is a private investigator who drinks a lot and has some superpowers, I assume. And Luke Cage, who is super strong and tough and awesome, which is his superpower, his awesomeness. And then there's the blind guy. Hold on, I'm getting there. Daredevil, played by Ben Affleck. That's right. Don't act like that didn't happen, because it did. But basically, to sum up, Marvel invented color and Cameron Diaz and gave us all the mans and cannot be held responsible for Ben Affleck. And there is no better way to end that. So I will stop speaking now and hope that you cut that off before I started just blabbering.